Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Can't Stop Talking podcast. I'm sitting in my bed. I'm so cozy. You guys know this is where the best podcast episodes come out of me. And I always tell you guys, like, get into a cozy position when you're filming TikToks or when you're, doing a podcast. If you have those things, because when you feel comfortable, like that's why I wear sweatshirts all over my Instagram and people are like, that's so unprofessional. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Karen, because that's where I feel the most comfortable and authentic in myself. And that's where the best, ideas come out of me. So you guys know I like to start the podcast with talking about my life. I'm like, you guys know that I can't stop talking and I love talking about myself. But no, I love to give these little excerpts. You guys know I can't talk. I can't spell, I can't talk. All right, you guys know that I love to give these excerpts on my life. You know what? Usually I'd restart this podcast episode at this point, and I feel like I'm going to keep it in. And I'm also laughing because what if this is your first time listening to this podcast? If it is, I am so sorry, but stay because I promise you're going to love it. And I just want you guys to know that sometimes I put out episodes and I'm like, who the fuck is listening to this? Who the fuck would listen to this? Is this shit good? Like, what was that? What did I just say? And then I get messages from you guys weekly telling me that you literally listen to the podcast front and back, and I'm still floored to this moment. So, another tip of like, if you're ever feeling like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I making? Will people like this? Do I know what's going on? No, no one knows what's going on. And with their life, we're on a floating rock. Put out the information, put out the stream of consciousness, just talk and try and help people and show up. Because I promise you, someone's listening out there who's like, wow, I really need to hear that. So, back to what I was saying about my life. My friend just texted me right before this podcast that she has tickets to a show next Tuesday. And she wasn't able to sell the tickets, and she's so sweet. She's like, if you go to the show with me, I'll give you the tickets for half off if they don't sell, because they probably weren't going to sell in the first place. Like, would you please go? And old me, I want you guys to know, was very rigid. Sometimes I still am rigid in the sense of like, I love a plan. I'm very type B, but I love a plan. I'm not a spontaneous girl. But I have had a new sense of being over the past year that really has changed my life. And that is the phrase me and my best friend came up with. That is, life is being lived right fucking now. And that goes along with my, idea of being present and how being present has changed my life. And that'll be on the next podcast episode. But I want you guys to remember, like, wear the red dress. Don't save the outfit. Go out that night. Like, what are we waiting for? Your life is happening right now. I used to, you guys know probably from the last episode about how I, lost 20 pounds. I used to say no to pizza in the office. I used to not go out to drinks with my friends on a weekday because I thought I was going to gain weight. Little did I know, once I started eating whatever I wanted and, working out less, I actually lost 20 pounds. And so the moral of that story and every story is life is being lived right now. Say yes. Do not say no because of tomorrow. There is no tomorrow, actually. There's only right now in this present moment. And I stand on that. So start saying yes. Once you start saying yes, like, your whole life opens up. I've had just so many opportunities from that. Like I said, that'll be in a different podcast episode, but life just becomes fun again. You're like, wait, what the hell? Why was I waiting for the weekend? Why was I waiting till next month? Why was I waiting till I lost 10 pounds? Why was I waiting to hit my goals to live my fucking life? Life is being lived right now. It's just waiting for you to remember that. And I don't want you guys, like I always say, to wake up at 100 years old and realize, holy shit, I spent my whole life waiting for something that never even came. And even if you hit your goals, it's not going to feel as good as you imagine them in your head, because you are going to be on to the next. So if those tickets don't sell, I will be at that concert on a Tuesday night. And she said, you want to get margaritas before? And guess what I said? I said, yes. Yes. Because no night's a school night if you decide it's not, right? So anyways, my loves, let's get into this episode, which is a really fun one. It's actually about how the universe has better plans for you and what to do when you're fucking crashing the fuck out because you did not get your manifestation. And your manifestation can look like, you really wanted this person, you really wanted this, job. You really wanted this house. And that was the thing. That was the house. That was the job. That was it. And you didn't get that. Maybe someone else got your house. Maybe the specific person you wanted is with someone else. Maybe, that job was given to someone more qualified, right? Who knows what happened? And you're crashing the fuck out and you're telling yourself, manifestation is a load of shit. It doesn't work. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's BS. I've seen manifestation work too many fucking times, too many creepy fucking stories for me to not believe in this. And if you need stories, go through the podcast because you'll find them. I that's my favorite thing about this podcast is that I don't just tell you what to do, I tell you exact stories because for me, when I hear a story about manifestation, since it is this thing that you can't really conceptualize because we can't see it, that's what makes me believe more and more and more. So my story this week is actually from my brother, which I love because he's a boy. He's not, one of those big manifestors. He's more like jokes about it with me. But he still dabbles, which I love. So this is kind of the perspective of someone who doesn't necessarily, fully 100%, they're not in it, right? And so he calls me about a month ago and he's like, sis, I need your help. And I'm like, what's up? And he was like, I'm ready to manifest a house. He just had a little baby. His my nephew, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I will be out at the club showing pictures of my nephew. I never thought I was going to be that girl. Like, can I just be honest? I thought those people were so fucking weird because I was like, there's no way your baby's that cute. Come into my DMs and actually ask for a photo of this baby. Is that bad? Maybe don't do that. Maybe, whatever. And you will be shocked. This baby is the cutest baby I've ever seen in my goddamn life. And I'm not being biased. Anyways, back to the story. So my brother calls me and he's like, I need to manifest my dream home so that, I have more space for my family. And I'm like, great. And I'm excited because I'm like, this is my specialty. Like, this is my shit. If you guys know, I manifested the current house that I'm in. I've manifested all my membership clients' houses. Maybe I shouldn't say all, but a lot of my people in my membership, their houses, a lot of past clients, so many of my friends. And literally a month ago, one of my clients literally messaged me and she was like, I have chills. I literally got the exact house that I wrote down because of what you told me to do. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is my specialty. I'm like so good at this. And that's not the first time I've heard this. I've had multiple people tell me that exactly what they wrote down is exactly what they manifested in a house. So I told him exactly what to do, right? And a few weeks later, he sends me a house and he goes, this is it. This is the perfect house. This is the house for me. And so they put in an offer. But he says to me, 5 other people want it. Like, what do I do? Right? And he's freaking out. And so I was like, all right, this is exactly what you're going to do. I gave him what to do when you're freaking out that you might not get your manifestation. He does it, right? And what I said to him is trust the universe. Trust that the universe always delivers, even when it looks like it's not working. And so a week goes by and he calls me again and he's like, it didn't work. We didn't get the house. And you guys know, as someone who loves manifestation, because you're listening to this podcast, I hate like trying to convince newbie manifestors that manifestation works or like skeptics. I'm not here to convince skeptics. I have always said this. I'm here to show how incredible my life is. And then if you're like, holy shit, I'm obsessed with everything that she's manifesting and you want to learn how, then come join us. But I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm not like, someone who's pushing their religion on you. Like, I don't care. But what I do want you to know is like, this changed my goddamn fucking life. And so, yeah, if you want to do this, I would literally love nothing more. This is my life's work to teach people how to change their life. And so anyways, that's why I don't really love to deal with skeptics because they're always like on the first try, they're like, well, it didn't manifest. And you're like, oh my God. Like, anyways, But this story gets exciting because after that, right, I said to him, you didn't get the house because the universe has better plans. And this is my favorite line that I tell everyone: the breakdown always comes before the breakthrough. And it doesn't, and what I mean by that is you can manifest without the breakdown. I just want to let you know. But when I am manifesting something big and shit's hitting the fucking fan, I always get excited. I'm like, oh, this is the breakdown. Something good's gonna happen. And it's usually at the moment that you feel so defeated. So all the times that I've, looked for past apartments or houses and manifested them, it's always usually the time before I'm like pissed, gonna give up, so annoyed, that my manifestation actually comes through. And so that's when I start to get really excited now instead of discouraged. And so fast forward a week, my mom calls me. This was actually last night. And she's like, "Did you hear that your brother got a house?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Your brother got a house." I'm like, "What?" And I'm sitting there like, it's always, Sam, this didn't manifest, instead of calling me and being like, "Hey, I manifested the house." Like, why did he tell me he didn't get his manifestation, but he didn't tell me when he did get his manifestation? So anyways, I call him immediately. I'm like, "You manifested a house?" And he's like, "Yeah." I go, "Tell me everything. Like, what did you do? Like, what happened after?" And this is the tea. This is what I need you guys to hear. He said, "We just said, fuck it. We stopped trying to force it. We started touring houses for fun. We decided not to settle until we found the one we loved. And then this house literally fell into their lap." And he said, even every inspector and agent who's walked through it has said how special it feels. And he said, looking back, the first one we really liked, but we didn't love. And this one, we love it. And so many things of this story. One, I just want you to know that the universe always has better plans for you. So when you're nervous, like, "Oh my God, you're taking this person away. You're taking the house that was supposed to be mine away. You are taking the job away." It's happening because the universe has better plans for you. Always. And the other things I want you to notice is this is when it comes through. He stopped gripping his manifestation so hard, right? This is the whole reason why being present has changed my life in so many ways, because when you're present, you're detached and you're not holding on so tight. And he decided to just have fun with the process, right? And not settle. And because of that, he's now in his dream home. Like, imagine if he got the other house and this one was 10 times better. Like, that's why you guys really do need to give into trusting and knowing that, if something's not working out, and this still happens to me where I will get stressed that I'm like, why isn't this working out? And then I'll take a step back and I'll be like, oh, wait, the universe always knows better than me. Always. And so my last story of this, because I love this story, is you guys know that I've been obsessed with the Charlie Sheen doc. And maybe you don't. Maybe this is your first episode. And if this is your first episode, I am so sorry, my loves. This is the most ADHD episode I've had in a very long time. So yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you're loving this type of episode, as always, message me. You guys know I love to hear when you love the podcast, because to podcasters, it's like I'm speaking to the ether. Like I'm speaking to a mic, and I have no idea if you guys like the episodes ever. It's insane. Okay, so I watched a Charlie Sheen doc. My mom actually texted me. She was like, "You got to watch this Charlie Sheen doc on Netflix." And I watched a Charlie Sheen doc. I love a good documentary, like love. Like, and I've told everyone that everyone and their mother, like, watch this Charlie Sheen doc. I thought it was incredible. And yeah, it's just about his life, things that you would never know, things that, he should have probably kept secret for his whole life that he goes on and tells. It's fantastic. Like, it's really, really good. And anyways, in the Charlie Sheen doc, he tells this story. And he tells this story about how early on in his career, he was actually offered the lead in The Karate Kid. However, he already committed to a project where he had only 8 lines. And so he was ready to ditch the project, right? But his dad was like, "You made a commitment. And he told him, your word in this industry, it means everything. Like if you break this, like this is not good for your career. So he said no to what felt like a bigger opportunity. And he was so pissed at his dad. And so fast forward, the Karate Kid made Ralph a star. So that was the kid who played in The Karate Kid, right? And the movie that Charlie Sheen was in, where he had 8 lines, Grizzly 2, actually ended up flopping at the box office. And he was so upset because The Karate Kid was in magazines. He was everything. He was the biggest thing ever, right? But that moment actually became the best thing that ever happened to Charlie Sheen because looking back, the kid who played the Karate Kid became known for the Karate Kid. It actually defined him. They went on to have like 5 movies, and that kid was always known in Hollywood, like and around the world, as the Karate Kid. But Charlie Sheen went on to star in Platoon, Wall Street, Major League, blockbusters, award winners, iconic roles. He went on to do 2.5 Men, where he made $2 million an episode for 2.5 Men. What the fuck? That's insane. And he built an entire career that wasn't defined by one movie, but by dozens. And I want you guys to know that you have the same choice in your life, right? You could think when you don't get something, the person, the job, the house, whatever it is, you could think like, maybe something's wrong with me. Why didn't this work? Why didn't this manifestation work? Right? And when you think like that, you'll spiral, you'll force, you'll burn out, you'll make it even harder to receive. Or you can decide like, what if this is actually happening to me so that something else can come in, And when you think like that, you relax. You end up quantum leaping into what's actually meant for you. And so here's the lesson. It's never the silence. It's never the no. It's never the slow season. It's never the event that defines you. It's always the meaning you give it. Law of assumption. Whatever you assume is what will happen in your reality. So here's the thing. Charlie could have let that missed opportunity mean failure, right? And that he'll never work again. And he missed out on his big break. That's probably so hard as a kid, right? But instead, it meant freedom to have an entire career past his wildest dreams. And so for you, the no in your life isn't a dead end. It's just a pause to decide what it means, decide what story you're telling about what it means, and decide a better story, that the universe has bigger and better plans that you could even imagine. So the moral of the story isn't to stop manifesting, because I would never tell you to stop manifesting. It's to stop gripping onto the outcome as hard as you are. Because once you ungrip yourself and detach, which you can do easily with being present, and if you need help with that, I have a new course that you get in the membership for free called Be Here, Get Everything, the Presence Effect. It's amazing, you guys. I'm going to have to do another podcast episode on that, of the things that have been happening in my life from being present and the things in my clients' lives, because I'm actually shooketh to the core. But anyways, back to what we were saying. When you detach from the outcome, that's when the universe is able to step in and give you more than you could have ever imagined that you have ever wanted. And I always say this. If you always got what you manifested on the first try, like, I would still be with my boyfriend from high school. Great guy, but like probably wouldn't be living in California and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So like the universe knows what it's doing. Trust it. It's never led me wrong. And the only times it has is when I'm not trusting it and trying to control and force. So just relax and live your life now, because life is being lived now. So I love you guys so much. I have a free manifesting community at the link below. I have free trainings in there, like how I manifested 10,000 followers in 6 days, how I manifested my 20-pound weight loss, and we have Q&As too. And then if you are like, nah, I want more, join Manifest That Shit University. That gives you the exact formula I use to manifest everything in my life, from my business to my house to free trips to everything, you name it. I've manifested it. And my clients are seeing absolutely incredible results that blow me away every single day. I'm like, how the fuck? You guys are incredible. From, $48,000 to new houses to whatever you can think of, they're doing it. And I'm just so proud of each and every one of them. So I love you guys so much. Have the best day ever. And just end with this affirmation: the more you relax, the more you will attract.